What's going on, everyone? Good morning. Just finishing up a warm-up, about to get into my workout. And I was thinking about a lesson that I actually went through this morning in this online program that we just started. And it's talking about prioritize and execute. Here, let me turn that off. And so, as I'm going through this lesson, I'm thinking, that's actually something that I've always done as well, is prioritized and executed. Meaning, every day, you're gonna have a list of stuff that you have to do. Whether you make the list ahead of time, or you just kind of roll with the punches and take it as it goes, which I would advise to do the first thing. I'd make the list ahead of time. And with that, you're gonna see a list of things ahead of you that all seem important, but they all can't be equally important, or you don't understand how to get them done unless you just go through them in sequential order. And maybe you're attacking the things that are not as vital for the success of your day or your team first, and you're not ordering them first, like thinking about it first, so you can get the best results. So real quick, before I go into this thought, if you haven't already, grabbed this book, which is Move All Secrets, which talks about the behind-the-scenes clinical approach to functional movement. What is this really? This is how to upgrade your practice to be a better clinician, to be a better chiropractor, to do what you set out to do when you started chiropractic school to begin with. Whether it was 6 months ago, you're still a student, whether it was 20 years ago and you've been practicing and you feel like you've been complacent and you're just doing the same thing over and over again, you probably know you should be doing something better. You know you should be improving what you're doing with your patients, but you just don't know how. It's not a medical integration. Let me tell you, it is not. It's not a medical integration. It's not buying a new $10,000 laser that you can put on someone's feet for their diabetic neuropathy. That's not what it is. It actually lies in something that's congruent with the chiropractic model, which is addressing movement. It's measuring movement and then executing a plan to fix the movement, and then putting systems in place so that your patients are engaged and they actually want to follow what you set up for them to do. They have resources they can follow, they have things that motivate them, inspire them, and really a complete system. And so that's how we practice. And a couple years ago, we decided to start sharing that. So I've put a lot of time and effort, not just into practicing, not just into taking care of my patients and my team, but figuring out how we can teach other chiropractors to do this, how we can duplicate this. And in the process, I've met a ton of other chiropractors that really, I feel like, share the same passion that we do, as far as trying to be the best, wanting to be the best, knowing that it's not gonna happen overnight, knowing that it is a lifelong conquest, knowing that being a chiropractor is not easy. Being a medical doctor is easy. When you're a medical doctor, you get out of school, you have a whole marketing plan set up for you that you don't have to worry about, because you have a multi-billion-dollar industry called Big Pharma that's sending everyone your way because they're indoctrinating and programming people to understand that they need your product, and you are the dealer of the product, okay? Like AKA drug dealer. Not to say all medicine is a bunch of drug dealers, because emergency medicine and all the different things that save our life in an emergency situation or help us when there's a limitation of matter, there's absolutely a need for medicine, and there's a need for great surgeons and clinicians in that realm. However, I'm preaching to the converted. We have a broken healthcare system, as everyone knows, and patients out there want a preventative and a corrective approach. They do. They don't want the quick fix, I only have 5 minutes, come in and let's use the chiropractor to crack my back and make me looser. There's already a model like that, right? There's a model like that preys on chiropractors who maybe just want to do it part-time or get sucked into doing it full-time. And we all know what that model is called. It's the company that's owned by Massage Envy as well, which I understand that there's even some doctors who I've spoken with that have worked there temporarily while they're getting something else lined up. So it's no stab against them. However, I feel like that model is very damaging to our profession, because it's saying to the public what we do is pretty much on the same lines as going to a massage therapist. Come in, crack your back, make you looser. No exam, no analysis, no diagnosis, no nothing. Let's just go in there, crack your back so you're looser. That's it. And I feel like if you want to practice like that, and that's what you're striving to do as far as like the end game, what I have to say is not for you, or maybe what I have to say might light a fire under you to get out of that situation. But what we're talking about is improving your clinical model by having objective analytics, okay? More than just looking at someone in their spine or extremities segmentally, which is the bread and butter of what you do, which is extremely important. But what else can you do? What else can you dig deeper and wrap into that I feel like is at the sole cause of why people have joint issues, why they have subluxation, why they have postural distortion, why they have all these things that us as chiropractors are on a quest to help people fix. And what is it? It's inability to move well, inability to move now even. Okay, so inability to move effectively, efficiently, get from point A to point B properly using the correct body mechanics, understanding basic human movement patterns, restoring things that maybe they've lost 20 years ago. Yesterday, I was working with a patient who's in his mid-70s, who's doing phenomenally better from when he came in to see us. And we're working on adjusting him, and he's very rigid, and we don't get a whole lot to move when we adjust him, but I work specifically, I focus on the segments that I know are problematic. We don't do a shotgun approach. That's our segmental strategy. We go through a specific postural corrective system. He's doing postural corrective exercise and traction. He has a home care protocol that we've taught him, but I feel like at the top of this, or the goal of this, as far as what he can measurably see as his progress, is not just feeling better and pain relief and being able to improve these activities of daily living, but the thing that is a objective measure for him is he's deadlifting now with a kettlebell. He can actually pull a kettlebell off the floor properly in a hip hinge, and he's holding his spine neutral and safe, lifting it up. So on the ascent and on the descent, he's able to descend by kicking the pelvis back into a hip hinge position and set the kettlebell down properly, engaging the core. It's awesome. So anyway, I know I start off with prioritize and execute, and I went off on this tangent talking about something else, but really it is all interrelated. It is all linked together. Prioritize and execute means this, and here's where it applies to where I'm going with this. The reason that I feel like a lot of doctors do not improve what they're doing clinically or even take the quest to move forward, or doctors who go to a seminar, learn some new technique or method, but then never implement it in practice, is because it is going to take work, it is going to take time to figure out how to integrate this stuff into your chiropractic practice. There are systems that need to be set up, there is staff training, there might be new documents you have to make, there might be new training that you have to go through yourself as the chiropractor to get proficient and get outside of your comfort zone of just what you've been doing month after month or year after year in practice to actually redesign your practice, okay? Doesn't mean it's this huge undertaking. It can be done in pieces, and you have to prioritize and then execute. And so that is actually how we have set things up inside of MoveWell University when we train other doctors how to integrate a functional movement department in their chiropractic clinic. We have a system, we have a process, there's a lot of pieces to it, but then we help them prioritize and execute. And you do it one step at a time. So when I started off talking about this topic, I was saying in the beginning of the day or in the beginning of a project, what do? Do you just jump into it and say, okay, I got a lot of stuff going on, let me just roll with the punches, take it as it goes? Or do you write a list? Do you strategize what you're gonna do for the day, for the shift maybe with your team in your clinic, for maybe implementing something like adding functional movement into your chiropractic practice? Do you sit down and make a list of every single thing that needs to be done in order, and then you prioritize, you assign, and you execute? So like, it's early morning right now. I'm about to jump into my workout, then I'm getting online with our office manager, and we're actually going through prioritize and execute on an upcoming training that we're doing. We have some doctors that are bringing their team out to our clinic for our next impact event in 11 days. And we're putting together a training for the team. And our office manager is going to be leading that. So I'm gonna jump on the line with her. We're gonna prioritize what's going on, execute. As soon as I get off the line with her, I'm going to sit down and make my list of all the things that I need to do this morning before I go in and see patients at 1:30 p.m. I then have a busy shift from 1:30 to about 6:30 p.m. We have a half day on Tuesdays. So I have a bunch of stuff that I need to get done this morning, besides 2 trainings that I'm doing, 1 for the upcoming attendees for the event, 2 for our inner circle group of Move Well doctors. We're doing a training with that. And then 3, I got to record a training video on a Move Well in the workplace video. Plus I got to prepare for a webinar that we're doing Wednesday with a buddy of mine, Chris Burfield, who has this lunch program that we're kind of teaming up with, using some of our resources and his resources. So anyway, we have all those different things that need to be done. And in the midst of that too, we're doing some training for team building in our practice to improve communication, prioritization, execution with our team in our practice. So like the list never ends. And you look at that and you might say, oh my gosh, that's so overwhelming. That's so much stuff. That's just life. That's just how it works. That's just how it is when you run a business. That's how it is when you are an entrepreneur. All of you as chiropractors are entrepreneurs, whether you like it or not. Whether you're in a associate position, whether you own a clinic, whatever, you are an entrepreneur. You have to think outside the box. You have to realize you signed up for this. This is not a 9 to 5 clock in, clock out type position. This is something that it demands more of you. There are less people who are willing to do a job like this, but it is a job that is so rewarding. It's something that humanity needs. They need chiropractors who are able to prioritize and execute and deliver the highest level of clinical care. So that's you. If you're watching this, that's you. All right, so if you're watching this live or on a replay, that's you. So if you want to see how we prioritize and how we put together adding a corrective exercise, a functional movement department in the chiropractic practice, I'll send you this book for free. We got a few of them here, okay? So I'll send this out to you for free. Go to book.movenowu.com and you can tell us where you want to ship it. We'll send it out. You just cover the shipping. We'll cover the cost of the book. I already covered it. I bought a bunch of them that I'm sending out to chiropractors so we can start a conversation. So hopefully this will get you interested in wanting to do better in your practice and for your patients. And while I can tell you humbly, we don't have all the answers. However, I'm biased. I feel like we have the absolute best systems in chiropractic for the highest level of clinical care. If that's your number one priority, is to be the best clinician, deliver the best quality care to your patient and get them to engage and actually change their lives, I feel like we have the absolute best systems out there. Yes, I'm biased, but I've seen what else is out there. I've trained with some of the best in the world, and I feel like I had a lot to bring to the chiropractic arena. I have a lot to bring to the chiropractic arena, and I'm sharing it and I'm doing it. We've implemented it, we've tested it, we've failed a ton of times, and then we can learn from the failures, and we definitely learn from the successes, and we share all that stuff with our fellow chiropractors. So anyway, appreciate you. I had to get into a workout, comment, share this with someone below, prioritize and execute for your day today. Grab a copy of the book, and we'll talk soon.